Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes have seen some astounding growth since their release. But what exactly are they? Why are they worth so much, and are they actually worth the investment? Well, that's what I'm going to look into in today's video. Let's get straight into it. Hey guys, it's Pokemonster here, and as you guys will have seen, the English market is moving a little bit mad at the moment, and one of the types of products that is part of that insane rise is Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, or PC ETBs in short. So that's what I want to look into in today's video. Let's start by explaining what these are. Just before I get into the video guys, I'm aiming for 1,400 subscribers by the end of the month. I'm only 20 away, and I noticed that 90% of you guys aren't subscribed to my channel. So if you do enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. Thanks very much. Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes were first released for Chilling Reign, an exclusive Pokemon Center product that you can get only from there firsthand, where they added extra booster packs plus some extra products. So for the Sword and Shield era, this included an extra pin and a special coin, as well as 2 extra booster packs. Now, one thing that they've changed with the Scarlet and Violet era is that any standard ETB gets a promo card, and in the Pokemon Center version, you not only get the normal version, but you also get this special Pokemon Center stamped version. So the key things to note about what a PC ETB is that you can only buy it firsthand from one place, being the Pokemon Center, and with Scarlet and Violet releases, they have added extra packs into it, so you get 9 in a standard ETB and 11 in a PC ETB. On top of that, you'll get 2 promos in a Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box, with one having a special Pokemon Center stamp on it. So that's a pretty good segue into my second part of the video, which is why they are worth so much. Let's first take a look at which ones stand out particularly for value. So the first one that I want to take you guys to is the Obsidian Flames Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box. As you can see on the chart, the market price on TCG Player is $138. Now, mind you that in the US, the retail price, or the MSRP for this box, was $59.99. So that is an increase of 130% since its release. And don't forget, this product was only released last year, so that's pretty impressive. And for my UK people, it's actually even worse. So the retail price for an Obsidian Flames PC ETB was actually £49. If you look at these recent solds, they've gone well over 100 now, with some being 149, which is really interesting because this growth has all happened in the last 2 or 3 months, where previously it was about £80 being a healthy markup over the original £50, but now it's gone completely parabolic. If I scroll down a little bit, as you can see, just at the start of this month, these prices were only £95. The Paldea Evolved Pokemon Center ETB is also doing pretty well, with a market price of $121. Let's take a look at the UK prices. The UK prices are pretty much rivaling the Obsidian Flames PC ETB at £135. Now, mind you that Paldea Evolved was released a few months before Obsidian Flames, but still pretty insane to see the amount of growth. As you can see, if you go back to the start of October or even September, where it was 65, and you look at it now, it's £135. And finally, we have to talk about the big winner out of all of this growth, which is the Scarlet and Violet 151 PC ETB, reaching a market price, probably an all-time high of $226 on TCG Player. And I can guarantee you that in the UK, the prices are around £150. So as you can see, some of the Pokemon Center ETBs are worth a lot of money. Now we have to look at why that is. In my opinion, the main reason why these PC ETBs are worth so much isn't the 2 extra packs. It's obviously that exclusive Pokemon Center stamped promo, which people are valuing at insane prices at the moment. You look at the Pikachu SVP 027 from Paldea Evolved in a PSA 10, it's hitting £400. That's going to be close to $500 for an ultra modern Pokemon card. I would almost say that this is getting close to like the biggest set chase cards from Scarlet and Violet in a PSA 10. So the Pikachu being like a clear and comfortable £375 is pretty insane. But that's what contributes to why the ETB is worth so much. Taking a look at the Charmander Pokemon Center ETB, which comes in the Obsidian Flames PC ETB. Again, this is probably the most expensive Scarlet and Violet card in a PSA 10 at the moment, going from £460 to around £600 in a very short space of time. Now, the one thing that I would say is I can't confirm these sales exactly because there's only a few. However, it is 3 separate sellers, and with the Pikachu reaching $375 and the current state of the market, I can sort of believe these prices. Finally, let's look at the Snorlax Pokemon Center ETB. Now, as you see, even raw, it's hitting over $100. If you look at the PSA 10 prices, again, you've got some high £350 prices for the Pokemon Center version. The one thing that I want to say though is don't take this as the only thing that gives it value. The sealed product itself also has value. The easiest way for me to show you guys this is to look at the prices of PC ETBs that don't have these stamped promos inside. And if you look at the Evolving Skies Pokemon Center ETB, it's hitting £220, a set for £400. So this is going to be around $260, $270 US. If you compare it to the standard ETB, there is a bit of a difference. Now that's pretty high at £200, but if you look at the others, 160 best offer accepted, 331 for both, so about £160. So there is a bit of a £50 to £60 differential. Now, you do get 2 extra Evolving Skies booster packs in the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box and a special stamp, but those packs are probably worth around £20. This still has a margin that goes clear of that, and I do believe that is because of the slightly higher exclusivity of the sealed product itself. So in conclusion, what is currently giving these PC ETBs value is the fact that it's slightly more limited in availability than a standard ETB, together with the special exclusive Pokemon Center stamped promos in the case of Scarlet and Violet ETBs. Now, one thing that I wanted to note to you guys before you decide whether you want to invest in PC ETBs or not, the point that I made about the promo having a high influence on the price of the PC ETB can perhaps be shown a bit more here through the fact that a set as popular as Twilight Masquerade has its own limited edition PC ETB, yet it is still available on the Pokemon Center. But I do believe that this promo is probably why it's still in stock, because if you compare it obviously to, a Charmander, Pikachu, Snorlax, coincidentally all Gen 1 Pokemon, this is obviously a little bit less popular. I do think it's a really cool promo though. Now, when you consider whether a PC ETB is a good investment, I think it's really good to have perspective by looking at the prices of the other products of the same set. When you're thinking about whether you should be investing in a Paldea Evolved PC ETB, think about the fact that on eBay, the PC ETB is actually more expensive than a booster box of the same set. It's a slightly different situation in the US because I had a look at the numbers and the PC ETB I believe is still a bit cheaper, but in the UK, the PC ETB has exceeded the price of a booster box. So I think that's a huge decision to make if you are going to invest in a PC ETB. Same for Obsidian Flames. Obsidian Flames booster boxes are still under £100 and the PC ETB is like 140, 150. There I can probably understand the differential a bit more because the set strength in Obsidian Flames comes nowhere near to that of the Paldea Evolved main set. When you're thinking about investing in PC ETBs, you should also remember the fact that not all PC ETBs are created equal. As I showed you guys, there are still some PC ETBs from the Scarlet and Violet era which remain available on the Pokemon Center, and I do believe that there is a reason for that, which is obviously the promos. So I wouldn't go wild on buying every single PC ETB that you can, unless you are of course a completionist that likes to have them as a sealed product. Key distinction to make for me in terms of whether to invest in it or not. If I like the look of the promo, if I like the look of the set, and I can get it at retail price, as is the case with Surging Sparks, yes, I would invest in it. And in fact, I have purchased a case for myself just to keep sealed. I'm never going to open it. If you're in the UK, note that they have hiked the price by £5. Previously, you could get the PC ETBs for $49.99. Now they are $54.99. But if you are buying at retail price, if it's a good set in itself, and if the promo card is cool, as is the case with the Shinji Kanda Magneton, then yes, I do think it is a good investment. However, if you are thinking about paying, high 3-digit prices in terms of like £130, £140, £150, What you really need to ask yourself is whether you believe in the potential of the Pokemon Center promos, because clearly that is what is driving the huge price spikes in those things. Really what it is do you value the Pokemon Center stamp? Because you can get a non-stamped version in a normal ETB. Obviously, the stamp does come with other factors, which is a more limited availability. If you look at the PSA population report for the Charmander, for example, it's showing up that the PC ETB version is about 3 times rarer than the normal Obsidian Flames one. I would in fact say it's probably more than 3 times rarer, because people probably wouldn't grade the normal promo that often, whereas for the Pokemon Center promo, they obviously would. There's clearly a very low gem rate for these PC ETB promos, as is shown with the Charmander showing about a 1 in 6 gem rate, so that's about, I don't know, that's like 17%-ish, I want to say, like 16%. So really, if you are investing in a PC ETB at the current market prices, you are pinning your hopes on the value of the Pokemon Center promo in a PSA 10 remaining at the high values that they are. Personally, I am not sure if that's a good idea, because I don't believe a card like that Charmander, as amazing as the artwork is, can sustain itself at 500 to 600 pounds. So if the price of that Charmander Pokemon Center ETB promo, if the price of the Snorlax Pokemon Center ETB promo, if they all come down, then the value of the PC ETB itself might also come down. Guys, that is pretty much all I wanted to say for today's video. There is clearly so much news going on in the Pokemon market, so I will do my best to address it for you guys and give it my opinion. As always, if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts. Do you invest in PC ETBs yourself? Thanks very much and happy collecting.